Guess who's back, 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 back again, again, again.
You
So
kill
what's
me.
up, y'all? It's you already know I gotta have fun with the good folks out here in TV land, right? So it's your girl, Miss Well and Woke, and we're back with another episode of Who Woke the Savage. Friend, introduce yourself to the good folks out there, but they already know you, sis.
You already know, and you also kicking it with Lady A Savage.
Ow. And like I said, as we do in true Who Woke the Savage fashion, we just gonna kick y'all off with I don't know how the energy's been for everybody, but I feel like this is a busy season. It's like so many things going on and pulling my attention in so many different directions. I feel like
What?
we got a lot of travel coming up, we got work stuff going up, life stuff coming up, family stuff coming up. It's just so many things taken away from time, energy, efforts, and coinage at the
Let me tell
same.
you something. Friend, I call myself on Monday. I work. First of all, I probably got like 2 hours of sleep the night before. Wake up, had some doctor's appointments and stuff, check on your health. Come back. I decide to work overtime. I get off. I'm like, oh, I call myself. I'm gonna take a nap and I'm gonna wake up and cook dinner or something. About 4:30. When I tell you, I didn't wake up until about 10:30, and that was only because my godson's
Oh,
mother called me because he was trying to talk to me. Legitly, she was like, "Go back to sleep." I didn't wake back up until 4 o'clock that next morning to get up and get ready for work.
'cause sometimes
Exhausted.
that's really how it is. It's exhausting,
Exhausted.
right? It's like we're all on the hamster race. And I think one big thing that I started to realize within myself, and maybe this is true for a lot of the people listening too, is like I can overthink, right? I could be an overthinker sometimes where when I
For
have
sure.
major projects and things that I gotta do, it's not that I'm the type of person I could wait to the last minute to get certain stuff done. But I'm calculated enough to say, I need this, I gotta do this, I gotta set up all my stuff in order, I gotta know who, what, where, when. A planner has become my best friend. I am not
Come
gonna
on.
lie to y'all. I got a 4-year planner. I ain't never
Mhm.
thought you was gonna get a 4-year planner.
4 years
Map out all
crazy.
the stuff that she gotta do.
4 years crazy, but I ain't gonna lie. Can you send me the link? Because I'm really now at that point. Like I legitly was doing something today, and I pull out my planner. I'm basic. I got the yearly one. I'm not advanced. Um, I pull out my little planner, and legitly from where I needed to plan, it wasn't there. That's why I'm like, oh, 4 years. That's what it's giving. Like now, I'm like, low key, I'm booking stuff for 2027 already. Like I need that kind of planner.
People, you got to think about it like we're a generation, right? Where people plan into the future. So you got plans. I may be getting married in 2 years. Hey, do you know around what month and what date that's gonna be? Because I gotta jot that
Right.
down now, my boy. Like I gotta do that now. And so it's really important for me to really have an understanding of what things are gonna look like, at least on a month by month basis,
Sure.
just so that I'm not tripping up over myself. And I feel like a part of that when you overthink can be anxiety producing.
I ain't gonna hold you. It took me a while to get that grown though, because I ain't gonna hold you. I wasn't a planner person
Mm.
for a while, and I had to become one because legitly I was starting to double, triple, quadruple book things or whatever because I'm thinking I'm free. So I'm like, yeah, I ain't doing nothing. And then here you come the day of, and it's like, oh, you supposed to be here, here, and here. I was like, oh no, I need to start jotting something down. A planner needs to
Let me
be
tell
had.
you. I told myself I was never gonna do this. I don't like merging my work calendar with my personal calendar. It's like at all. I don't want the two worlds to collide.
Okay.
But it started to get where I started to mix up obligations. Like I woke up in a panic last weekend and I was like, dang, am I supposed to be doing the mentorship program? Am I supposed to be in class today? I'm supposed to head to Brooklyn. I gotta be there at 9 o'clock. Which place? Am I supposed to be? Did I miss something? Then I was like, then people will let you know when you missed it when they hit you like, girl, I ain't see you today. Damn, I was supposed to be today too. And I felt terrible. I was like, look, I commit myself to something, I'm gonna be honest, once I commit myself to anything, I like to give 110%. I don't like to like fall through on the stuff that I agree to do, whether I'm helping somebody or signing up for something or even a personal commitment to myself. So I had to merge the calendars. I'm like, now whatever's on the work calendar had to spill into the personal calendar so I don't get my times mixed up and I can stay ahead of all of my deadlines.
That's right. So let me ask you this. Since talking about overthinking, I want to give you a scenario because legitly just had a conversation with somebody and I thought it sounded a little crazy. me personally, but you let me know. Um,
Okay.
so they were sitting there and pretty much um asking different questions or whatever. And I'm like, why is that important? Like they were pretty much asking like, oh, what was this person's name again? And people that didn't even exist anymore in the picture. And I'm like, why are you asking about people that don't matter to your life? You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
they were just thinking out loud, this, that, and the third. And it was a conversation. And I'm like, they're like, "Oh, like, I'm an overthinker like that." Like, I go through my life and, like, rethink of timelines, and I go through all these timelines and pinpoint people and do these things. And I was like, all the way down to people that don't even matter.
I'll say this, right? That's not uncommon for people. You know, I always tell people the truth. It's like depression is when people are struggling with things that happened in the past. Anxiety is the fear around things that are to come, stuff that they're struggling with that may happen in the future, right?
Mhm.
And for you to better understand your future, you have to understand things that you experienced in the past. So some people replay past encounters or relationships to make sure that they're not making the same mistakes when they encounter new people in new situations. Like I could honestly say this, I will not revisit stuff from the past when I'm overthinking. That's not typically where my mind goes. But do I walk myself through different scenarios? I do. Like I walk myself through different situations, like possible outcomes of how something could go. I tend to ground myself by trying to stay in the present. But I do think like, yo, I do this or don't do this way, this could happen or
So my
this could
thing,
happen.
I don't dwell in the past. Like you said, I don't do that. I don't rethink about back in 2000. You know what I'm saying? I don't re-go through that or whatever the case may be. But like you said, if I'm in a situation where something starts to look a little familiar, like this is starting to look
Right.
like something
Like,
I'd been through,
mhm.
or it's starting to give the signs that I could go through it, then yes, I'm not doing that. I learned my lesson. That's a trigger. But as far as just being, having a good day and sitting in my bed and be like, yeah, so let me run down the timeline of my life for the 55th time. No, I never been that person.
So you have some people who are dealing with a form of anxiety that's connected to the overthinking, and you have some people that are a little bit of like obsessive compulsive. Right? Like,
Okay.
if I do not replay this a certain way or do this a certain amount of times, I don't feel safe carrying on the rest of my day. I don't feel comfortable unless I walk through all the different danger zones. Like, and there's a difference, usually know when you're running into one or the other. Like, if I talk to somebody and they say, look, if I don't go over my plan for the day, I can't leave the house in good faith and trust that the day is gonna go smooth. That may be somebody who's a little bit more obsessive compulsive than somebody who's just naturally anxious. It's like, dang, I know that when I go out today, like I may run into some traffic. I hate sitting in traffic and my anxiety is gonna go up. Those people have to prepare themselves slightly different when they're like navigating out in the world. So that person saying to you, like, yo, I am replaying situations from the past and things that happened in my life because it's like it's on real in my mind. People who overthink, they lose sleep and they lose time thinking about things that they can no longer change, right? Like I said, they can't always change
So
things that have already happened. So they lose a lot of like dedicated time focused on things trying to get
so
off the
what
hamster wheel.
so what do you think is the difference between spiraling and trying to problem solve?
Well, I think, like you said, it's kind of in the actions. Spiraling is like I'm making a bunch of different connections, but I'm not able to loop anything together to get to an end game, right?
Okay.
Problem solving is I may have 99 problems, but I can tell you that this ain't one today, right? Like, no facts, like for
Yeah.
real. It's like being able
No,
to compartmentalize what's going on. I can have a million things going on right now, but tomorrow's bill is tomorrow's bill. Today's problem is today's problem,
today's day.
right? Like
I get what you're
I
saying.
can tell myself that I may be frustrated about whatever's going on today, but I still gotta rock out and thug out what I'm dealing with tomorrow. It's on my mind today,
Yeah.
but I can't do
Yeah,
that
I feel
today.
like when you're spiraling, you're letting everything take control of you. I feel like when you're problem solving, you have the control.
You have the control. You're checking off what you can do and
Yeah.
what you can't do.
Problem Exactly. Problem solving gives you the control to sit up here and be like, hey, I know these things are issues that I need to correct XYZ. And you do that. Well, I feel like when you're spiraling, everything is just attacking you and you have no control over what's happening.
And when you spiral out, you can have two reactions, right? It can be full blown crash out, right? Nothing's going well. I can't do anything. So guess what? Nothing gets done,
Burn the house down. Yeah.
right? Or then it's like you're trying to multitask so much. And I tell people multitasking is a myth. Nobody actually does it well. You do little bits and pieces of shit, but then the big picture
And
never
then it
really
fades
gets
out.
resolved. It fades out. You're like micro solving a problem, but the actual problem still exists because you're not dedicating any real time to get through it. So like I used to do an activity with a lot of my clients and we used to make not to do lists. And my clients would be like, yo, what do you mean? Like everybody make a to do list. I was like, no, sometimes you gotta make a not to do list because it's not important enough to get off your list right now, right? A to do list is like you're telling yourself that these things are very important and they're urgent. A not to do
Right.
list is just another way of telling yourself, like, I could table this for today. Like, I don't
Like,
have to worry
I got
about
time.
this immediately. Write it down, leave yourself a reminder of when you need to actually focus on it, but don't let it consume your thought process every single day because then you're not going to be functioning as good. Like, I started to realize some guy brought this to my attention. I give him his credit. He was like, dang, you be staring off into space like you're daydreaming. And I'm like, I am daydreaming. And he was just like, dang, grown people don't daydream. I was like, no,
What?
there's two ways of looking at it. I was like, when a grown person or a person is daydreaming, some people consider like dissociating, right? You're detaching from your current reality. I was like, when I'm quiet and I'm daydreaming, I'm thinking about all of the stuff that I got to do. I'm walking myself through the scenarios of what I have to complete. So I was like, you may be sitting up next to me playing video games, and in my mind, I'm like, all right, so after you make dinner, make sure you sort the laundry, make sure that
Uh-huh.
you gotta
It's
go
all
take the
to do
car
list
into
in
the
your
shop
head.
tomorrow. There's a whole running list in my head. So for you, it looks like I'm checking out in La La Land, but me, I'm walking through myself through a picture, physical map in my brain of what comes first, the chicken or the egg,
And you know what?
to get
I ain't
done.
gonna lie. I done got to the point now, and like you said, maybe it's the tiredness that's in everybody or whatever it is. I'm definitely at the
Hmm.
point now. If it ain't done, it ain't done, and tomorrow will be tomorrow, and we'll figure it out. Because that's where I'm at. Get done what you can, get done what's important, and then it is what it is. Things that are important gets done. Things that have to get done are going to get done. But all the miscellaneous things, guess what? If it doesn't get touched today, I ain't stressed about it. It's too many other things in life right now to be stressed about. And I'm not about to stress myself out because I didn't fold the laundry today, and I need the laundry need to be folded because
Yeah,
I didn't cook
facts.
that pack of chicken in the refrigerator today. I'm just not about to stress myself out about little shit no more.
And that's what I had to get to. I honestly say this. We have a new 24 hours every single day. What didn't get done today will get done
Yeah.
tomorrow. I had to improve in my like rhetoric around that, especially when it came to work. And even into like my personal life. I'd be like, what you didn't do, you still have an opportunity to make up for it the next day.
Mhm.
Whoever don't like it, whoever don't agree with it, because
That's
maybe it's
it.
something that you intended to do for somebody, but you don't have it to do for them today. It'll get done tomorrow. If you don't need me to do it for you tomorrow, then you figure out another solution or get it done for you today. And that is okay. It's okay. And I think that when we talk about people like kind of like bringing themselves down or circling on that hamster wheel because they're thinking about all the things that stress them out, it's not a healthy
Mm.
way to exist out here. Because like I say, stress don't go nowhere. And I
It
started to
won't.
realize like talking to a lot of people around our age, I'm hearing a lot of black people and brown folk say that hypertension and like their blood pressure is constantly raising. So I was saying to somebody, they were telling me it's about diet, right? And I was like, I come to a conclusion. A lot of people are dealing with high blood pressure, not necessarily just because of what they eat and consume. It's because
It's
of
the
the
stress.
stress that they're experiencing. Hypertension is the number one silent killer, especially for people of
It's the
color,
stress.
based around stress. I was like, I have never had hypertension, and I don't want it. Knock on wood. I hope not to get there. I try to manage my stress intake and monitor what I consume, right?
Mhm.
But I remember I had a day where somebody called me and stressed me out right before doing a physical. And
Blood
I
pressure
get
went
there
through
and
the roof.
doctor's like, blood pressure went through the roof. Doctor like, you all right? You about to die? You about to drop dead? And I was like, respectfully, somebody gave me extremely distressing news and I'm trying to navigate it now in my
Yeah.
mind. And then, like, I did another reading maybe a few days later. They were like, "Oh, super normal. Like, you ain't never had this problem before." And
Yeah,
I was like,
it got struck
"Exactly,
up.
to the stress." So that overthinking can also create that issue for a lot of people, not even realizing how it's weighing on your health.
Let me tell you, you definitely onto something. The 2 things I've heard a lot when it comes to, like you said, black and brown, is
Mhm.
the high blood pressure and the vitamin D. The vitamin D
And vitamin
deficiency.
D.
The vitamin D deficiency, for some reason, every black and brown person that walks into the doctor's office is low on the vitamin D deficiency. When it comes to the high blood pressure, yes. I literally have a friend who blood pressure has been high, and I mean, when I say high, I mean medicated. They done gave her the tester to test herself, like,
Mhm.
since she's been in her teens because that's how much stress she has had since she has been in her teens because, like, like, her mother died, different situations happen, and
Yeah,
so
life
much of that.
circumstances, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of circumstances happen, and so, carrying all that weight later on, her blood pressure is through the roof, and that's why I'm like, it's one of those things where people don't think they put stress on you like that, and sometimes I tell people all the time, sometimes you gotta be rude. You have to. I'm not allowing you to stress me out today. I'm not, and I ain't got
We
it for you.
we
You
I
sometimes
wanna
you
make it
really
clear
do
though.
have to be that person and be rude and be like, "Look, not today," because like you said, the stress level that people will put on you, they will put guilt on you, they will put stress on you,
Mhm.
different things, and you are not about to wear me down because you putting all that on top of me. I'm not doing that.
But Imma keep it being with people because this is the thing. Are they stressing you or you allowing them to stress you? Because that's what I had to realize for myself. I was like, I have to sit in my nose, and we always say that. So once I
Mhm,
said that I don't have it in me and I can't do something today and I don't want to take on the extra stress layer, I have to stand on business about that. There's a lot of times where we put pressure on ourselves. And that's what
mhm.
contributes to those spaces. Like, right, I said, when people are overthinking about everything and every commitment, every obligation, and all the stuff they got to do, you are putting pressure on yourself. You got to tell
True.
yourself to leave it alone, calm down, say no, go relax, sip some water, and chill out so you don't have no heart attack. Like you
No,
said,
serious
hearing Black people say that they having heart attack, strokes,
all type of
hernia,
stuff.
you know what I'm saying?
But
Or
that's why I said
ulcers, all
that's
of
why I
these
said
stress things that come from all of that overthinking and over that like anxiety
mhm.
producing feelings that can come from that.
And that's why I say it gets to the point where, like, you have to be rude sometimes, like, because
Hmm.
initially, if somebody calls you and starts, like, really, like, giving it to you, initially, you're not trying to let them stress you out, but then as you start hearing the conversation, I tell people all the time, you know when this is starting to tick, you know when something in you is starting to itch, you starting to get uncomfortable, your head getting hot, like people say, your head get hot, you starting to sweat a little bit because you pissing me off. When that happens, stop allowing people to piss you off, like you said. Don't it became you stressing me out, but now I won't allow it anymore. Now you try to stress me out, but guess what? Now I'm not allowing it. That's why, like we talked about before, that's why my block game is serious. Because baby, I don't care who you are, what you're not about to do is come over here and stress me out into the hospital, and now I gotta sit up here
Yeah,
and have a monitor on
you're not about
on my chest.
yeah, you're not about to wear my little heart out. That's all I'm saying. And it's so interesting. I was talking to a friend and she was saying to me about we were talking about how people who deal with autism, they do an action called stemming, right? You may notice
Mhm,
they rock back and forth. And so we were saying that a lot of people have self-soothing practices similar in nature.
mhm.
So she was saying like she read that listening to the same song again and again and again is a form of stemming, right?
Really?
It's like a self-esteem practice. Yeah, that's usually linked to autism. And I was like, wow, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. Reason being, because when people are doing that rocking motion, they're trying to calm down their sensory awareness. So if I'm
Mhm.
playing the same song to get my head on straight, if Tamala Little Man got to take me to the king 5 times
5
so
times.
I don't air stuff out, so I don't
5
air
times.
stuff out, then
But you know
that's what
what?
I'm gonna have to do to calm myself down to a
Now
space
that
where
you
I
say
don't
that
feel like I'm reacting.
Now that
Mhm.
you say that, that makes perfect sense. Because when I tell you I have listened to a song and you know how you listen to a song, you cry, I will keep listening to it until it doesn't make me cry no more. Until the last tear is out, and then I can move on with my
Right.
day.
That's it. And we don't think
I
about it that way because, like, when we see those behaviors in other people, like, you question certain things, like, "Why this person doing that like this?" But it's about self-soothing, right? We create all these different ways. Our bodies, our minds tell us to do the things that we need to calm down.
mm,
And that's one
true.
of them, and I didn't realize I was like I would play the same song again and again and be like, "I really like this song," but I was
I
like, "No, it's something comforting. It's something, like, cathartic about playing this song," like you said, "till the last tear is
I
out."
sure will.
And then I feel like I can move on, and I feel like the weight is off my shoulders. I'm a lot calmer, and I'm focused on the next thing that I gotta do.
I sure will. I tell you now, like I said, if I play that song and I cry or I'm whatever I'm doing, Imma keep playing it until whatever I was doing ain't happening. So I feel like the song isn't working no more. Okay, I done got it out. I done played enough
Have you
times where it's out my system.
have you seen spirals? 'Cause like I said, the new terminology for it when everybody's spiraling out is like crash out, crash out. People almost wear it like a badge of armor. They love calling themselves crash outs, which is just like I said, you're like emotionally dysregulated human being all of the time, and you don't know how to
Mhm.
gather your thoughts. But I hear that a lot. So like, what can you say that you've seen like a lot of people like spiral out about?
You said, "What do I feel like a lot of people spiral out
You
about?"
said, what do you feel like a lot of people spiral out about?
Okay. Top 1, relationships. I feel like people spiral out with relationships. Family. Family will make you spiral fast. Work, money. When your money ain't right, that do something to you too. Kids. If you one of the people that got kids,
Mhm.
that's a spiral factor. I hate to put it life in general, but most time those top topics are ones that people will tend to start being, like you said, the crash out about.
Mhm.
But I
I
feel
think that
like the
that's a
ones you
hundred.
see a lot be relationships. I feel like people crash out a lot when it comes to the relationships in that family.
Well, because like I said, when we say relationships, every time we mention it on our platform, I try to tell everybody relationships, not just romantic, but familial
Yeah, no.
relationships, friendships, all of those things that can become stress
Mhm.
inducing factors and
Yes.
things that you got to navigate, right? So yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think that's a big way that people tend to spiral out. Like people do consume themselves and other people. Like overthinking about what your partner is doing or what could be doing is not the type of life that I want to
No,
lead at all. Like I have
no.
never been that girl. I can never sit in a space and be like, I wonder what they doing right now, where they going and who they talking to and who they messing with. Baby, there's not enough hours in the day for me to give somebody that type of time and attention. But there are
Ooh,
people who do like they look like I said, they keeping themselves awake at night, they losing sleep, they making themselves sick because they worried about the next person. And I understand that when people have children, people tend to worry about their kids. You've heard
yes,
the expression like helicopter parent, right? Right. So you got helicopter moms and dads where they thinking about everything they kid do. I hope they don't fall. I hope they
all the
breathing in
time.
they sleep. You know what I'm
You thinking
saying? Like,
about stuff you thinking about stuff that they can't even do yet. You got little
right?
kids, you thinking about stuff that they might do when they in their teens already.
And it's a fact, you know, I heard somebody say something, I will leave, and I want to say it could have been my grandfather saying this to my father at one point, or my grandmother saying it to my father. She was just like, when your kids get to a certain age, you got to free yourself from that worry. People are grown. I mean,
Sure.
I say that
Okay.
about people in my personal life, whether it's like friends, family, or folk. That's a grown person. I can't make decisions for grown people. Everybody has to live out their life choices, and sometimes it comes with hard lessons. Sometimes it comes with really good blessings, but it's going to come with something, right? So I can't stress if
No,
I
sure.
tell somebody, hey, maybe you don't need to go down to that store right now because there's a lot going on over there. And somebody goes, well, I like going to that store. I'm gonna go down there. Hey man, I ain't gonna have my heart thrown out of whack. You want to go down there, stuff jump off down there. I'm still feel some type of way if something happened, but I can't allow myself to panic based around other grown people and their experiences.
No, that's a fact. And that's what it be, because like I said, even when it comes to family, I feel like that be the spiral too, because your family will put stuff on you. Just like how you said with your
Mhm.
kids, your family will have you worrying in a kind of way, stressed out in a kind of way, put you in situations you don't have to be in, all type of stuff, all the time, to the point where now you spiraling.
Yep. And like I said, I think you got to find your method or your solution on how to deal with the spiral. Like I'll be the first to say it. I probably mentioned this the last time we did an episode, but journaling, right? And I was
Mhm.
never a person to really be a good journaler. I always scribble, scrabble, wrote back in the day as a kid, probably kept a diary or two or whatever the case is to get my thoughts out. But now I think I'm journaling with more intention, right?
That's right.
Like I'm journaling with the aspect of positivity as the end goal, not just getting out the negative thoughts, but refocusing my energy on what's going well, not what's not going the way that I want it to go, right? Or a way that I
Yeah.
feel like it's not
I feel
going as
like
good as I would like it to.
we have more guidance with journaling now. Like you said, back in the day, we was writing just to write something, where now we have a little bit more guidance to the outcome of we're putting out and we're trying to receive what we want at the same time. So like you said, it's not always about writing something negative. Sometimes you can write something positive happening in your day. And I feel like that's stuff that people don't talk about or make it seem like it be a thing. Everything you journal isn't a negative thing.
It's not like so I believe in like the practice of, practicing gratitude, right? And so
Mhm.
it's not always easy to come to that conclusion if you've had like a effed up day. I'm telling you, sometimes it's a fucked up day, y'all, and it just is what it is. So I had to tell myself, but you have to find something good about every day that's encouraging you to move forward. And so I was like, whether that's having a nice cold glass of water or an orange, if that orange was bomb and it was hitting when you needed it to hit, thank you for the sustenance for today. Whatever it is, whatever that looks like for you, the individual. But I was like, I realized that that was a good practice to have because when you're an overthinker, you're thinking, like I said, sometimes the worst scenarios. So you gotta
That's
be able
right.
to speak positivity. Like, what if it goes bad, but what if it goes good? You know how many people talk
Imma tell
themselves
you,
out of opportunities
right
because they
now
overthink?
right now, Imma tell you for me, to what you were saying real quick, mine right now, as far as something to do, mine be go to your happy place. I hate to say this, I know it sound cliche, I know y'all probably seen it in the movies and all that stuff. Something about going to your happy place, okay? To tune everything out and go to my little happy place, yeah, that do it for me now. It does. To be in my own little
What does
corner.
that look like surrounded by people, right? Because I remember working with somebody and they were like, there's 9 people in my household, right? And they were
Mhm.
like, I don't know where to go that I could find silence. So they said sometimes it was just getting in the bathroom and sitting on the toilet and hoping nobody banged on the door. And I was like, dang, if you can only get that for 2 minutes and just debrief for 2 minutes, that may be what you have to do. You may not have the
So I
same
know
happy space available to you for hours at a day. Or other people got to get to the bathroom.
right. I know before my happy place situation, mine used to be the shower. I feel like the shower is the one time where you at least get about 15 minutes to yourself before somebody come bothering you. At least 15 before somebody starts getting on your damn nerves.
Friend, right? So I was talking to one of the homies and I was telling him like I made sure that I built up my shower experience to be top tier, right? I was like, I gotta have all of my essential oils in full bloom. I added a nice little shower speaker with subwoofer, so I get that surround sound and got nice lights to create the atmosphere. I got
You
me a
do.
beautiful hotel quality shower head that I just installed. I was like, I want to create spa. I
It's
want
obvious.
rain.
Baby,
Yeah,
Imma say something right now. You got my bathroom, baby. I got candles, incense, okay? I got the tray that you can lay across the tub if you wanna eat your little fruit while you sit up there and, sitting stop playing. That's the one time where I get to cleanse it all off. No.
just get you some bath bombs, some lavender, give it a safe space.
What?
Holla at Dr.
Oh,
T.
I tell you, a good shower steamer? What? Oh, I stand by a good shower steamer. And I got all the qualities you need. I got different flavors. You can pick one, baby. Stop playing. Mm-mm.
That's it. And like I said, sometimes you may only get that 15 minutes, like you were saying, because you may not be able to escape for days, weeks, and months away from your problems. I think a lot of people, like in my work environment, I'll say this: so many people got so stressed out or so overwhelmed that they had mental health episodes, right? That led to
Mhm.
them saying, "I can't just go away for 15 minutes into my safe space. I got to go away for a few weeks or a few months." So I can come back in society and get my head on straight. And so I'm very aware that if you don't sit yourself down, something could possibly sit you out. So
That's
like
it.
you have to address it. You can't let yourself get to so many spirals that you're not focusing on the things that you really have to like pay attention to.
Yeah, because 'cause you'll start cutting up. I know some people, because I know somebody who does this too. They, like, go for a drive or, like, just, like, go get in their car, maybe go to a park or something, like, park their car and just, cause it's the one time to kinda just be by yourself a little bit and have, your thoughts to yourself.
Well, Imma tell you right now, if gas prices wasn't so high, I used to love to go for a good drive. Now at this point, I'm thinking about how much gas I was burning.
Hey,
I
I'm telling you
need
right
that
now,
gas
gas
to
is
get from
so
point
high,
A to point B.
I'm just gonna sit in the parking lot. I'm not gonna move
Right.
it. I'm just gonna sit outside.
That's it. It's cheaper. I think we're
That's
gonna
it.
tell people it's cheaper to sit in the car and just let it sit there. Just roll your windows up,
Just gonna sit there.
stay cute, stay cool. But it costs money to sit up there and drive around aimlessly. You gotta have some place to go. But one of the things I was saying to you too is that a lot of people, when they overthink, they talk themselves out of opportunities. And I hear this all the time. People give themselves such a negative list of what they feel is going to happen. They be like, you know what? I'm not even going to go here. Like, I'm thinking about travel, right? With everything going on in the world, I hear so many people talking themselves out
No
of
doubt of
nice
it.
things. I was like, baby, the world been spinning on this axis for a long ass time. We've been living in the final days for a long ass time. I was like, stuff has been crazy for the past
For a
couple of
while.
years. We done hopped out a whole worldwide pandemic. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I'm gonna live my life the way I want to live my life. I'm not gonna be a
Especially if it's about
fool.
to go
I'm
down.
gonna
If
pay
it's about to go
attention,
down,
right? I said that don't mean you gotta be a fool. I'm not gonna be a fool. I'm gonna pay attention and use good judgment, but I'm going to live my life
because
because
my
some
thing
of
is
the
this,
things that we have to allow ourselves keep us in the right frame of mind.
if it's if it's all about the end, you might as well go ahead and live it up. If y'all think it's about to come to an end, why let it come to an end and you ain't go nowhere, you ain't do nothing, you been hiding in your house, stacking your canned goods. At least go out with a little bangy bang.
Yes, sir. What Jaro said, all my people that be living it up. I said, what do I do? That's what I'm saying. I better be out there living it. Like, that's just all facts because I'm like, I really, I took a lot of consideration thinking about, all the people that going through. So I know it's bothering folks out here. The
Okay.
uncertainty. We're living in very uncertain times. And that increases the stress levels. It builds that anxiety. It's causing people to overthink and overstress. So I'm not going to say that I don't understand, but I'm telling people time is going to move on forward with or without you. So whatever state that you keep yourself in, you got to do that much effort to get yourself out of. Practice
That's a
the
fact.
self-care, do nice things for yourself, give yourself a break when things don't go well, but don't stop living. The worst thing you
That's
can
it.
do is spiral out to the point where you stop existing and showing up for yourself and showing up even for some people in your life. Do as much as you can to continue getting on the good foot.
That's a fact. Well, friend,
Yes, friend.
I feel like you know what time it is.
Ooh, hit me with it.
It's savage question time.
Ow, savage question time. What's up? What's up? What's up?
Okay. So someone DM me a question, and their question was, "Are you intuitive or just triggered?"
I think people often confuse both of those things, right? I was
Oh,
like, when somebody's triggered, that's rooted in trauma experiences. When someone is intuitive, that's an instinct, right?
fact.
Like, I feel like this could be happening and I should maneuver in a different way. When something is trauma rooted, somebody tipped you off. You saw something or experienced something that brought up an experience that is encouraging you to move differently. I grew up in NYC. You grew up in More. We're hyper vigilant people. Am I more inclined to sensing danger in different scenarios? Yes. I grew up in the city, so I'm very aware of my surroundings. I'm very vigilant about things going on. But I know the difference between feeling like something is about to occur and I've seen something go down here this way, this time. I heard people
Mhm.
arguing a certain way, so I know it's going to happen. I try not to confuse because hindsight is 2020. If you knew better, you do better. So if nine
Right.
times out of 10 you feel like you knew something, why wouldn't people make different choices?
No.
Everything is not left to your intuition. A lot of times we can be counterintuitive. We can have a sense that something is happening or going to take place. But like I say,
Mm,
triggered is reaction. I'm
yeah.
reacting to what I think is going to happen.
I do agree with you on that. I do believe triggered is with trauma, and like you said, intuitive is your, just your sense of awareness. But I do feel like sometimes people try to combine the two a little bit and make it seem like
Hmm.
they're being intuitive, but really it's a trigger in you that's nothing is really happening, but you're making something happen. I've
So
seen
okay,
people
prompt.
who made situations happen that weren't situations and try to make it seem like, "Oh, no, like, look what's happening." It's like, "Nah, that's really not what's happening, though. Like, it's nothing here. Like, nothing's going on. Everybody's having a good time. Everybody doing this, that, and the third. Nobody's spidey senses is going off but yours."
And I say this, I'll give a prime example, right? If I'm in a situation and I get a bad read on somebody, I'll be like,
Mhm.
okay, my spidey senses are tingling. That energy from that person isn't quite right. Now, I may walk myself through a few scenarios. Mm, I wouldn't have a conversation in front of this person because I feel like they would take that conversation and use it in ABC ways. That's me saying,
Oh,
my intuition tells me that the vibe is off, but now I'm running through different scenarios. That's a little different than I had a negative experience with this person. So now every time they come around me, I'm
mhm.
preparing myself for the worst case
For it.
scenario. I'm telling myself like
Okay.
I'm gonna have to curse this person out. I'm gonna have to fight this person. That becomes like now me seeing you as a trigger. Like when
That's a
women are in
trigger.
relationships, or even
But
when
see,
men are in relationships,
I've seen
like they'll
people.
tell themselves, like, he's not a good partner. He spikes certain red flags. Intuition. I may
Mhm.
now have some discernment that this is not a good person. But if now
Yeah.
I started
Like I said,
dating this person after I pushed past discernment, now I'm like, "Oh, he's a cheater." Is he a cheater because you found him cheating and you think he's cheating? Or is he
or
a
used
cheater
to
because
dealing with cheaters.
everybody from the past has been a cheater and he did something like those people in the past?
Like I said, I've seen people who are like that. Like you said, it's something different. Somebody rubs you the wrong way, and then when they're in the room in the future,
Mhm.
now, like you said, it's a certain reaction. But I've seen people where like nothing has happened. You know what I'm saying? Nothing has went wrong. No, it's a good time. You had a good time, and then all of a sudden, something did something. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like you. I don't want to say you became the problem a little bit, but low key, like I'm like, is that now being triggered? Like, because I feel like it wasn't a problem there and you made one.
And people do. Like I said, you can't always point it out to people. They have to come to that conclusion themselves. And I think that sometimes being a friend, when you hear that your friend is kind of spiraling out or overthinking a scenario, like, look, you safe, boo. Ain't nothing happening. Ain't nobody worried about you. Ain't nobody think about you, sis. Just enjoy the scene for what the scene is. But that's not easy for everyone. Like I was talking about going to the, Usher, Chris Brown concert or whatever. And I
Mhm.
had a coworker say to me, I'm not a calm enough person to enter into a crowd of that size with that many people. And I didn't realize how many people I've encountered who feel that way. So
I
many
watched a
people are
girl
like, that's
video.
not a comfortable setting. Yeah, like they're like, I don't like those large venues and spaces with mad people.
I
I don't even consider all of the different things when I go into spaces like that.
I watched a girl video who was saying that. She was saying that legitly. She was like, I would love to go to the Usher and Chris Brown concert, but she was like, every time she was like, she was like, my anxiety is twitching right now, thinking about all the people that's gonna be around me and in the area when I go to that concert.
And it's what I
And I
didn't
said, "The
even like
things I do
wow,
not think about." Like, I was
the
like
things
you,
I
the things
don't.
that don't cross my mind.
My excitement told me, "Oh, this is gonna be a fun-filled evening.
Legendary.
I'm listening to 2 dope artists." And this person was like, "Man, you don't know who's in there, how many people in there, what they got going on, what they got on them, how they could react." I was like, "Dang." You walked yourself through those scenarios in the past 5 minutes since I started looking for this ticket, because I was like, all I could think about is the present moment, my excitement and my joy for the moment. I was like, I'm not gonna say that I'm not gonna be vigilant when I get there that day. But my spirit right now is not going to prepare me for months out the game of what I should be, speculating is going to happen that far into the future. Like you said, everybody goes through a different free flow of thought when they're
Yeah.
like preparing themselves to do certain things.
Like you said, I feel like we're very much aware, but I feel like I am glad that I'm not one of those people where like I overthink in that aspect. Where like I'm just like, oh, it's gonna be 20 people on the road, 20 people in front of me. I'm gonna have to walk in the crowd to get. I'm glad I'm not one of those people because I'm gonna walk in the crowd. I'm gonna walk in the crowd. I'm gonna walk in the festivals. I'm gonna walk in the parades. Whatever it is I want to do, and I'm just glad I don't overthink to that aspect where I'm sitting up there like worried about every little thing.
No, because I think you also have to have calm within yourself, right? Part of having peace is that you trust your instincts enough. Like when you asked, the key component to that question was, are people intuitive or triggered? My
Mhm.
intuition will tell me, hey, you know what? I've had enough of this experience. I can leave early. I don't got to stay all
Right
night.
now,
I don't got to be here until the let out. I don't got to be the first one in the building. If I feel like something is off and I don't feel comfortable where I am, it's okay for me to get up and leave the space without question or concern. That
and
is intuition.
and
That is
you'll know when it
discernment.
hits
That's
too.
awareness. And you'll do what you need to do when you need to do it, right? But I was like,
Mhm.
triggered is something set off. Like somebody made a loud noise. And I got PTSD now because I heard that gunshot that reminded me of that time Ray Ray got popped. And now I'm not okay in my environment and I may not be able to function anymore. And I'm keeping it a bean. It is
Ray
very
Ray and them getting
different.
popped is crazy.
That's it. It's like, but that's what happens for a lot of folks. Like I
It
said,
do.
they see something, and we were talking about this culturally, and it was so interesting at work. Somebody was saying when people speak loud, right? We come from communities where people tend to talk very loudly. But to one person, it could be family, that's the neighborhood, that sounds of the community, right? Loud speech. Some people, loud speech can indicate violence, aggression, assault. Like, and when they hear it, they're like, "Yo, people are talking loud over there. I feel like something about to go down." I'm like, "People talking loud over there. They playing spades." Some people like they talking loud
I ain't
over
gonna
there.
hold you.
They getting ready to go off, and so it's very different.
I ain't gonna hold you. I can deal with loud talking depending on the event that's happening. Like you said, if you playing spades or we out the club, you know, wherever it is, and it's valid for you to be talking loud, that's cool. But I ain't gonna lie, if we just sitting down having a normal conversation and it's not you're not telling me a story where it's time to get animated, um, baby, bring your voice down a little bit. Cause I feel like anything over 6 to 7, you trying to get active. So I need you to bring it back right here, right here.
But there we go. What if you're not with those people? Let's say you're in an establishment, and this is why I understood it from somebody's perspective. They're like, let's say I'm going to a restaurant, right? And in the restaurant, people are talking loud. But there's
Mhm.
certain people who are gonna be like, "Oh, everybody, the restaurant real loud. It's a nice
I'm not
environment,
only
family
talking
friendly."
though, like
So,
like I can't hear my own conversation because you talking over me loud. Like I just want to know.
um,
Give me some. Give me a little extra on this. How loud we
I
talk? Like
guess
if
it's
me and you
all.
was at dinner right now and we
Uh,
talking, I'm like, yeah, girl, bye bye bye, and somebody was like, yeah, because can I still hear you over there?
yeah, we can still hear each other, but maybe they laughing like Eddie Murphy Clump style, like they over here, like whatever they
I ain't
doing
gonna
over
lie.
there on the side.
A little a
It's
little
like,
chuckle, a little chuckle is not gonna bother me. But if I'm talking to you and their conversation is over like taking over our table now to the point I feel like we all sitting together, check please.
right? So that's the case for some people. Some people are like, yo, I can't even focus on my own thoughts because I'm worried about whatever I heard them talking about at the next table. At the next table, they talking about how they got to pull up to a bro house because he still owe the money. So I'm just thinking to myself, something is getting ready to jump off next to me. Whereas, like, sometimes I can hear people talking loud. I'm like, dang, that sound crazy. They about to go roll up on old boy. But I'm not in hyper arousal. I don't feel the need to say I gotta leave the table or leave the restaurant
Listen,
because
the
whatever's
only way
happening isn't having an immediate impact on me and my functioning or surroundings.
The only way I'm about to be like, check please, like I said, if me and you having a conversation, and like I said, Lil Ray Ray and them over there sitting up here, and now their conversation is taking over our conversation to the point I thought we and Ray Ray and them was at the same table. Yeah, check please, because now I can't even. I can't even talk to you. I'm trying, you know, you having your time with your people. I thought I was having dinner with my friend and we was going to have a conversation. Now if she can't hear me, I can't hear her because you done messed around and took over about 4 tables because you wanted to talk that loud. No, you can check me though. You can check me, please. Now I ain't saying like I said, certain parts of your story if it get animated or like you said, you got a little Eddie Murphy laugh here and there, that's cool. But if your whole conversation is like this while you talk, I'm good. Please don't piss me off.
See, look, see, triggered, triggered,
Yeah, no,
triggered,
seriously. I just
triggered.
cause like
That's
I said,
triggered. That's not.
remember I
See,
told
that's
you
not
earlier.
intuitive. That's not like, oh my God, they're talking loud. Something's gonna happen. That's it. Like, no, I'm just
No, it's
triggered.
not
They
even
talking too loud. My nerves.
for me, yeah,
It's a
it's not even something
difference.
gonna happen because I don't give a damn who Ray Ray and them about to rob. I really don't care. But it's not that something gonna happen for me. Like I said, I know for me, I don't do over like I'm not a quiet talker, but I'm definitely not a loud talker either. Like I'll have people that be like, "Oh, you need to speak up," or I couldn't hear, XYZ, because I don't feel like you have to yell your words. Like I just don't feel like you have to. We right here, baby. You can
So
hear me right. You know what I'm saying?
it's
So
so
I never been a
funny
big
because
loud talker.
I said this to people before.
So
I was like, I'm not. So I grew up in a family where they speak very loudly, and so they'd be like, "Say it again." So when I got in front of other people and I would speak, they'd be like, "Oh, you're a little louder." I'd expect it, and I was like, "Oh no, I'm loud in comparison to
yeah,
maybe you, the individual." But where I come from, people supersede me in loud, and loud is a trigger for me. I do not like people to be excessively loud or
no,
obnoxious. It bothers the hell
I
out of
told
me.
you
So I know
anything
I'm triggered,
after.
but I'm not fearful. I'm triggered, but I'm not fearful that something
Yes,
is going to
that's
happen.
what it
I'm
is.
just annoyed.
I'm not fearful. Like I said, if Lil Ray Ray about to rob the bank, that's cool. That's your business. But like I said, triggered. Like I said, anything over a 6 or 7, I'ma need you to bring it back down. Like if you, like I said, if you telling a story and you telling the story now, you like, yeah, you ain't gonna believe. Okay, cool. Go ahead. You getting animated. You getting into character because you telling your story. That's fine. But if we just having a regular conversation and you see it happen all the time, people be talking and then before you know, they be like, well, so what you trying to bring it back down because you raising up here. I'm gonna need you to bring it back
That's the
down
thing.
to a 6 or 7
If I
because
hear
I'm gonna
something
think you
like,
trying to
"Oh,
do
I'm about to
something.
go pop the trunk," I hear somebody like, "I'm gonna go pop the trunk." Look, we ain't even got to get the full pop pop out. As soon as you say where I'm gonna go pop, I'm probably already where I need to be at. I'm home. I'm on the couch. I'm watching TV. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Something happened. See, that's what I'm saying. Intuition. If I feel like there's something worth it happening in that space, and I feel like I know that my safety is in jeopardy, then I can act on it. If I feel, my mother used to tell me this all of the time. She was like, for all of the women who feel like they gotta check their husband, smell their husband, go through their phone and check their computer and their collar and stuff like that,
It's a
you're
compliment.
fighting against some of your own instincts, right? Not because there's women who say that. My mother was like, if you distinctly feel that somebody's behavior, habits are off, somebody's treatment of you is different, then you know everything that you need to know. Whether or not it means that they're cheating or not, you know that something is wrong. Your
Something's
intuition
wrong.
is telling you that something is off, right? And so I was like, which is very different than somebody saying, man, every time I get with somebody or every time I'm with people, I feel like they're doing this to me. It's
Yeah,
different could be triggered based off of your experiences. And so I had to just be one of those women. I tell men all of the time, I've never been the type of sister just be like, oh, you got to be doing this. I have suspicion. If I feel it and I think it and I sincerely feel like something's
that's it.
happening, I can only approach it one or two ways. I could either move on with what I got to do, or I could say, hey, something's quite off in our routine or our chemistry. I'm going to ask you, you answer how you answer. That's also a sign of whether you got to use discernment. Did that answer give you what you feel like it needed to give you? Did you know what I'm saying? Did it add to your calm or exasperate your anxiety? If I feel like I'm more elevated after a conversation that I was seeking clarity in, then I know everything that I need to know.
That's it. And that's all. So fun. I
That's
think
when
we gave it to him. Mm-hmm.
that's we always hear to razzle and dazzle the folks.
A little sprinkle. Do you want to go ahead and send him out, Bookie?
Yes, ma'am. So as always, it's your girl, Miss Wellin Woe, kicking it with my homie Lady A Savage. We are Who Woke the Savage. And if you want to find us, you need to holler at us on these following platforms. Go follow Lady A Savage and Miss Wellin Woe on Instagram. Holler at us, slide in them reels, drop messages and comments. Same thing, pull in the DMs if you have any questions. Follow Lady A Savage and Miss Wellin Woke on TikTok, because y'all know we always keep the energy rolling and live on the TikTok game. In the future, I want y'all to be real. We're gonna be going live with y'all. So y'all gonna have a lot of real FaceTime to access questions. And also watch these YouTube channels. We ain't playing about y'all, fam.
That's a
We want
fact.
y'all to be Slide in the DM, get involved in our community. It's the Who Woke the Savage community. Shout out to our royals. Shout out to our real ones. We're here for y'all. And like we always say around here, what do we tell the people, Lady A Savage?
We love y'all for free.
And that's real, y'all. We out.